And in a warm weather?
Warm weather, you want to use the oil in it to slow it down because it'll dry so damn fast that you can't control it. And in cold weather, you can use it just as is. And in fact, cold weather is really the best for striping.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And real hot weather, what about real hot weather? A little more oil?
A little more, yeah. Now see, when I use lacquer, I use the retarder in it. Now before we knew about the retarder, we used to use banana oil to retard the lacquer. It worked. That's what's in nail polish. That's lacquer with banana oil. That's all it is. The big Jippo. It's the same stuff. Automotive paint's all it is. It's the same stuff. That's the world Jippo. They get the nail polish. It's just lacquer and banana oil mixed. That's why it smells good. It's got the banana oil. It smells good to some people. But but that's really critical. That's really the weather. You know, cold weather is really the best.
I like cold weather to striping.
Yeah. It's much more.
I don't like windy days.
Windy, forget it.
It just takes the thinners right out of the paint.
Windy. No, yeah, windy enough that it literally blows the brush around. And you're trying to set it down and the thing's blowing around. I mean, forget it. You can't do it. It just don't happen.
Now, when you say brush, what kind of brushes have you been using?
I started out with the Grumbacher's. I played with the Max. I couldn't get anywhere with them. Went back to the Grumbacher's, and then I was down at a paint store one day, and I seen these things in there, and they're called Hillers, is what they were called at that time. And they were like 40 cents. And so I got a couple of them and just threw them, because they were threw them in my kit and didn't use them for years. Finally, one day I pulled them out and started playing with it. And I said, where have I been? The whole thing all over again. I've been fighting all this misery with these terrible brushes. And that's all I used until the guy, I think, died that made them.
Yeah, I can't find
I think one guy made them all, and that was it. And as far as I'm concerned, it's pretty much the end of me. I mean, when they're gone, I got 2, 3 of them left. That's it. I'm going to try fighting this new design that you brought over. See if that works. But it still ain't a Hiller.
Well, how long do you think it takes to get a brush to where it'll strike good, if it's going to strike good at all, in oil?
Well, it takes a couple of days of playing with it before it gets itself into shape.
Now, I noticed you washed the one I gave you with shampoo, soap and water. Yeah,
well, the reason I did, a lot of them brushes, they package them with gelatin on them. And if you try to wash that out of there with thinner, the thinner don't attack gelatin. The only thing that attacks the gelatin is water. Yeah. So you got to get rid of that gelatin that's in there. These don't look like they were packed in it, but I did it anyway. The Grumbacher's and the Hillers were all packaged in gelatin to keep their shape.
Right.
And you had to get rid of that gelatin.
Yeah.
So you wash out with shampoo. I use Tide works real good. And then they're just limp as a dish rag then. And just get them into a shape and hang them up and let them dry. Then you go into oil from there and then finally start trying to play with them.
Now you do the same thing with your quills? You do the washing out soap water? What about the quills? You just go to the store and you see what you like and you buy it, or
you get about 4 of each size, and you usually end up, if you're lucky, with one of them that you'd really like.
Yeah. But even though they're the same brand, they are different.
Yeah, because they're all handmade. They're different. The French Masters. That's the ones I like.
That's a Lang nickel, or is that a Grumbacher?
No, they're just called French Masters. They're made of natural quills. They're not synthetic. There's something more legit about them because they're made the old way.
But they're still squirrel hair, right?
Yeah, it's all squirrel hair. Except for your sash brushes and things like that, fitches and things like that. And the sign painters call them fitches and house painters call them sash tools. That's made, the good ones are made out of pig bristle. So far there's no synthetic bristle has been worth a damn, although DuPont's got a tapered one now. And now they've got another one where they do something that blows the surface of the hair up, like natural hair, to where it holds paint in the brush. But so far, that's just big house paint or big signs.
The sign quills are all squirrel hair.
All squirrel hair.
What about the watercolor brushes?
Those are also the squirrel.
Squirrel?
Yeah. And some of them are red sable.
Sable?
Yeah. And there's a brand name called Greyhound. I don't know what they're made out of, but I'm sure it ain't a Greyhound.
I know there's no such thing as a camel hair.
No, there never was a camel hair brush. In fact, I used to tell people that when they asked about camel hair brushes, I used to say, see the shape of that brush? Look at that. Now that's the natural shape of that hair on a camel. Now look at that and think about where it came from. And I says, and they only get one of them, each camel. Right? Because it grows in stubbly on the next one. Right? Now where do you think that natural shape would grow, right?
Where do you think the name came from, the camel?
I think there was an antique time when when that style of brush may have actually been made out of camel hair in some ancient times.
So just
and so the name just continued on for that style of brush, not necessarily that it was made out of that. Because most people don't know a fish is made out of pig bristle.
Yeah.
And the good ones. That's another thing too with the signs. If you think you're going to get the paint out of the local hardware store and the brushes, you ain't going to get them there.
What do these kids do when they're out in the toolies like that?
I don't know. I really don't know unless they take a trip into a bigger town or mail ordered or whatever. Yeah. You get Montreal, they mail order. And say like you got a bunch of quills from any of the big companies that you could mail order them from. So you get 2 or 3 of each size, right?
Yeah.
And you'd end up with some good ones out of that.
Now what about the container?
Because I can't really go there and look at them and pick them out and say which one's best. You got to try it.
You got to try it. I know that.
Every brush has got its own.
A lot of guys will spit on them and they'll look at them, but you can't really tell by spitting on them.
You can't not really tell.
Now the other thing that always threw me for a loop was the container to put the paint in. I started out with a cup that had a little a paper cup that had a little wax to it. I used to
good. It retards your paint.
It retards it and it makes it dry flat.
Yeah, it also makes it dry maybe never. And no, you can't do that. I used to actually use just little tin cans. I never throw tin cans away. But then I got to using these, I got to smoking Tamari cigarettes because they come in a little cardboard box, which is perfect. And that way you got one bad thing, you're getting a good thing out of it by using the little boxes. And I used to get a lot of people to save the little boxes for me because they liked the idea that they were something useful, not just get it thrown away. My dad, was a master at taking anything and folding it up, making a little paint-proof box. I never learned how to do that.
I've seen old-timers do that.
Yeah. He'd just take a piece of paper and he'd be doing something else and he'd fold one of these things up like that and he had this little cup. Yeah. And I never learned how to do that.
Izzy showed me that. I couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, Izzy would be one that would do. Sure, he would have been in the same era that did that.
Okay, well, let's get some paint and paint us up a sign.
Yeah, well, let's get on the palette first, because this is where we got to say something to it, because it's where it's at. It's where it's at. Let me, I think this yellow will be okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's bulletin. That's bulletin. Gotta get some turpentine.
Oh, I see.
You got any work going? Is the sound thing working right now?
Yeah. Oh, no, not working. Oh. Fix this.
Well, I wanted to point out, that
let's put it
everybody has found out cheaper ways of doing it.
Very close.
Good. Look at this one. Look how long that is.
That's been an oil how long?
Well, this is this is a club to me right yet, but I mean it's for bull tacos.
Taco touch-up paint?
Huh?
Taco touch-up paint?
No, he went over to Spain, to kind of You know, talk to them about, you know, different, you know, ideas that would make the bike sell better here. So anyway, he brought me back to the striping brushes that they use in the factory at Botaco. That's what they use.
Pull that down on this.
That's what they use in Spain for a striping brush. And they manage.
These are from the Botaco factory, Dutch?
Yeah, that's from the Botaco factory.
Those hairs are all straight on the end.
Yeah, there's no sword to it.
They're horse hairs, aren't they?
There's no sword to it.
They look like horse hair.
Boy.
Maybe that really is camel hair. Now, this is a hiller in there going. There's no more hillers. Okay, are we running?
Yep. What did you want to say about the turpentine?
Oh, yeah, right. Now, this is one shot, is what this is in here. I just put it in little jars because it's easier than popping the lids off and on the others. But one shot, you use turpentine for your thinner. Don't use anything else. Turpentine's expensive as hell, but it still works so much better. It's worth it. It's worth it. Because it works so much better than any kind of so-called synthetics. You use a natural material. And this is where the whole damn thing is as far as the striping is concerned. Now, generally, when you get the one shot right out of the can, it's usually all right. Just about right the way it is. But whatever you want to do, and what kind of close-up capability you got there?
I got just your hand in
Okay, this is something a lot of people don't see because I do it real fast. You lay that brush down, you also turn it over. You turn it over, eh? If I do it fast, people don't notice I'm turning it over. You still, both sides of the brush. Now, you have to work this little gob of paint up. Now, like this is from a new can here. So this is, and it's cold weather right now, so this is pretty fluid. So what you do is you palette it until you start feeling a drag in here. You have to feel a little resistance in this paint. So it starts having a drag. And that's the whole principle of the striping brush. This is why it's so long and wobbly, is because it works like a rudder. So that, but you gotta have the drag or it won't work like a rudder. So this is still not tacking up because it's so cold today. But you keep paleting until you feel this drag in the paint. You feel a certain amount of drag there. Then you're ready. Then you want to go directly onto your line that you maybe want to make or something, see? Then the rudder action of the brush is what makes it work. And see, there's a scratch right there, see? That's one of these circular grinder marks. See, now there's one over here, but there ain't a grinder mark, see? So you make another one. Now that grinder mark is gone, so then maybe you got one over here, see? So you do this, and you do this. Well, now we're rid of that grinder mark. So that's where all that stuff happened from. But this is where it all is, right here. And there's no way that we can transmit this other than that you feel this little drag to it. And right now,
how many?
See, it's cold right now, so it's a perfect time for striping. Because you can get the paint right. See, by now...
But you're on the palette just as much as you're on the design.
I'm on the palette more. I'm on it all the time, constantly. Now, I know a guy that palettes on his finger. And he walks around a car and does that. He keeps a gob on the end of his finger like that, and he palettes on the end of his finger.
Is the guy's initials BDR?
Huh?
No, the guy's initial BDR?
No, it's a guy by the name of Tweety.
Oh.
And where I usually drag my palette around with me. Well, see, this, all that. Now we got some more, see, so that maybe you want to try to make the stuff, at least I always did, I want to try to put it all together.